What's up, Battle Prime community? GamingJAEGER here, bringing you another Battle Prime video. This time we're going to talk about 5 key settings everybody should be using in this game. Now, there's a few different options to them, but you need to make sure you explore these options and are using them, or at least understand how you could use them, as they'll help out every player at every single level. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and just jump in game and take a look at these 5 settings. So taking a look at these 5 settings, again, just not necessarily in any particular importance. I think each one of these 5 has different value, but let's start out just in order of the menu and go ahead and jump into controls first. Now, outside of all the other standard control options that are there, I think ones that are really misunderstood and always asked about are the camera options down below. So this is, again, item 1. It has 2 different parts. There's the camera look acceleration, which you can see I keep mine at 150. This accelerates the speed when you're making quick movements. If you're a player that likes to do those quick 90s, quick 180s, I find it beneficial to keep this setting higher. That way the camera actually kind of like keeps up with your speed. It'll allow you to see what you want to see, I think, a little bit quicker. Again, I've got it at 150, but I know players that like have a little bit higher. If you're someone a little more controlled in your movement, then maybe setting it a little bit slower or lower can help you. The camera look smoothing kind of helps polish out those frames as you're viewing them. I prefer to keep this down to a lower setting, and I actually juggle this between 0 and 20%, just kind of depending on how I'm really feeling during those matches. But I typically don't go higher than 20. I don't want the game to worry about smoothing out my frames and out the visuals too much. I'd rather ensure that I'm getting raw gameplay. That way I know it's reducing any type of lag or delay that may be in those frames coming through to me. So without that smoothing, I just find that it actually performs a little bit better. Again, my threshold is at 20%. The next setting, item number 2 on this list, is in the audio and graphics section, and this is the graphics mode itself. There are 3 different types. There's battery, performance, and quality that most devices have. We'll talk in a minute about some other options you may see. Battery, of course, kind of keeps things at a lower setting, keeping your battery performing well. Performance is all about this really balance between battery usage, graphics, but giving you the highest frame rate possible, while favor quality is going to give you the best graphics possible. I find that if you're going to be playing endlessly, favor battery may be really well, and some devices do need that, especially in the lower tier Android category. Quality is if you want the best looking game, but I do notice that the phones heat up a bit more. Performance to me is that sweet spot. This is what I play on most times. Unless I am capturing maybe content, then I will go over to quality. Now, certain devices do have additional graphics mode, but not all of them. What the devs did is they introduced graphic options that they know they tested and work for your device. That's why Battle Prime does not have a variety of settings to tweak. The other item on this list, number 3 here on the list, is going to be the headphone mode. I feel many people overlook this one. Disable is going to give you the loudest volume possible, while enabling this will actually give you more of this environmental type of sound. Knowing that you're using headphones, it can actually better balance your right and left channels and allow you to get that directional sound out of the game. Although you will note when you switch it over to enable that it is a little bit quieter. So of course you've got to kind of tune your volume up a little bit, but I find that it just doesn't always get as loud as I prefer. So again, if you're someone who wants to be immersed in the sound, disable may work well for you out of the pure volume threshold, but enable, again, will give you that more situational awareness. Item number 4 on this list of settings that you need to pay attention to and can help you out is the auto rejection section. This auto rejection allows you to turn off friend requests, automatically disable them so they don't pop up on your screen. And the same for the squad requests. When you enable that, it will automatically decline any squad invites. If you're a content creator, these are 2 that can be very beneficial for you to enable these and ensure that you're not getting any of those pop-up menus in your screen. If you're also coming into the game and maybe you want to just mess around with upgrading your primes, focusing on your weapons, taking a look through the inventory, opening chests, enabling this auto rejection can be really helpful. But do keep in mind that this will save those settings. So next time you come in game and you want someone to play with and you're wondering while no one's inviting you, you may actually have these enabled. And the 5th item on this list of settings you need to pay attention to is the navigation. You have the minimap and the radar, which you can disable or enable rotation for that radar. But let's talk about the difference between both of these. Minimap is the traditional square map that shows you the entire bird's eye view of the map. There is no rotation for that one, so it doesn't matter whether you leave disable or enable on when you're working with the minimap. The radar, as you can see here, is actually a smaller radius around you of that map, showing you kind of what I would consider like your immediate threat range here, although, of course, it doesn't factor in snipers. But it gives you this small radius around you that, when enabled, that map will actually turn. So that way your map is always looking in the direction that you yourself are looking. So again, depending on how you prefer to play, you can work with either of those. Personally, I'm a mini-map fan just because we have so many players that play the long range with LMGs or snipers right now. I like to leave that enabled. All right, Battle Prime, those are the 5 settings you need to be paying attention to in your menu to make sure that you're getting the most out of the game and you're tweaking every aspect of it you absolutely can. Let me know which of those settings you have been using, which of them you have not explored, and what type of options do you like to keep those at? Are you a mini-map or radar type of player? Do you prefer rotation or not? And even, what do you keep your camera sensitivities at? And what have you found to be successful for you? Again, you've seen a bit of mine and how I like to play and a few examples of what each of those are. So again, hopefully you guys enjoy this content. Stay tuned for more. Again, make sure that you do subscribe and ring that bell as I continue to drop fresh Battle Prime content. And if you're looking to be part of this Battle Prime and my own personal Jaeger community, consider joining the channel and unlock some of those additional sweet perks. But guys, I'm Jaeger, and I'm signing out.